the third chakra, Manipura center. Place your hand into the third chakra mudra with the right thumb on the top of the left, all the finger pushing towards each other, facing outwards at the solar plexus level. Shoulders nice and soft, release. And acknowledge the space, that space of processing. The space where we process all our experiences that we feel on that second chakra. Our processing center is made of two main processing features. We can either process it with the ego or the true self. And the key in that center is to balance that ego with the true self. It's our sun, it's our power, and the element of that chakra, that energy center, is the fire. It processes our food and our experiences. It is how we shine outside, how we portray ourselves outside in the outer world. It is where as well we're starting questioning our existence and starting to slowly touch a bit of spirituality. It's the last center of the physical world. The activation of that chakra can be done with a little activation of the Uddiyana Bandha. So maybe pushing that belly button slightly towards your spine. Not in a harsh way, but in a soft and more in a locking way to really activate and feel that center, that chakra well. You can do that lift on the exhalation. Visualize that space growing and expanding. Feeling the heat of that fire, that little flame within that center. Spreading and warming up your entire body, your power. Reflecting on experiences, situation, introspection, going within to find those answers and not only looking for causes, external causes. That's balancing the ego with the true self. Looking at a situation in every angle, not only from the outside, but from within. Digging in. The inhale is pouring into the exhale and the exhale into the inhale. You're feeling the diaphragm expand and retract as you're inhaling and exhaling. any thought, emotion, feelings, picture that comes to your mind. Acknowledge them all. Don't dwell on them, but just let them flow away. Let them dissipate with your exhale breath. And bring yourself back to your present, back to your breath, back to your consciousness. Don't let yourself drift into that subconscious, but stay present. Feel, breathe. And then slowly, you're going to move into the first pose, into half Baddha Konasana, a half saddle pose. So you can place a bolster, you don't have to lay down. If this is enough, stay there. If you can, just lay all the way back. Make sure that left knee doesn't lift off the mat. It can slide to the side, but not lifting. If the neck feels funny, you can always place a block underneath that head to support the neck, and so you don't have an opening through the throat. Here, letting yourself completely surrender. Feeling the opening through the solar plexus here, stretching the diaphragm. Keep breathing within that diaphragm with a little lift of the Uddiyana Bandha on the exhalation for activation of the third chakra, the solar plexus. The third chakra is linked with three main meridians. I would say two mainly and one a little bit. So stomach meridian and spleen meridian are linked with that solar plexus. So the spiritual emotion of the stomach meridian is contentment, and the spiritual emotion of the spleen is reflection. So it goes really well with the processing, and it's all about how we shine it. Are you content with who you are? Being able to be content with who you are, what you give, what you do, having contentment in everything you do, and having reflect on everything you do, every experience you've been previously had, everything on analyzing, but reflect not only from external causes, but really deep reflection come from within, from the deeper self. And then I associate this one as well. So it's almost between the solar plexus and the heart center. So at the end, after those two meridians, I like to place the gallbladder as well, just above the solar plexus. If you would have to place them, I would place just above in the transition between the solar and the heart, and it's decision making. So from you processing, you're going to take decision and you're going to act, which really, that action of acting and doing is really pretty much one of the main things of the solar plexus. Now slowly lifting, and we're going to change poses, asanas, and bring ourselves into your lasered pose. So bringing that right heel underneath the right knee, make sure that back leg is nice and stretched. So you can stretch the hip flexor on the back leg, but as well stretch all the stomach meridian that runs through the top of the back leg here. At the same time, you're stretching the spleen meridian on the right leg. If you want, you can put a bolster across your back thigh here to be able to just hold back a little bit if it gets too intense. So you can completely and fully relax. Now we're going to do a bit of a pressure point. So the first one, we're going to go on the ankle first, in the front of the ankle for the stomach meridian. We're going to do a bit of acupressure. We're going to do the 3 points. So the first point is on the middle of the ankle. We inhaling, releasing pressure, and exhaling, applying pressure. Then we're going to go on the spleen, which is in the big toes, on the side of the big toe and at the big toes, and we're going to do the same. And finally, we're going to go on the gallbladder, which is on the top in between on a foot, in the metatarsal, and in between the little toes and the second toes. Apply pressure on the exhale breath. Do that for 3 as well. So you have 3 acupressure points where you inhale and exhale, applying pressure. Then you can release when you finish those acupressure. You can just slowly release and make yourself comfortable into your lizard pose, either dropping the elbow all the way down to the mat or on the bolster, or if that's not possible, just keeping your hand flat on the mat. Completely surrender through the hip. That's why sometimes a bolster is nice to have on the back of the leg, so you can really fully, completely surrender. Keep that breath where you're exhaling and you're slightly pushing that thorax, that belly button towards your spine to activate through the solar plexus center. And breathe. The inhale into the exhale and the exhale into the inhale. Any thought, emotion, picture, feelings, acknowledge them all, then move back to your breath. On the next inhale, you're slowly going to release. We're going to slowly move in a cat tail posture on the right side. So the underneath leg, the left leg is underneath. You're going to grab your left foot with your right hand and you can lay back. If you're a bit tight in the lower back here, you can place a bolster underneath so you have a little bit more support for your back. If not, you can just be flat. And stay here, just trying to completely surrender. Do not hold the breath. Let the breath flow. Inhale into exhale, exhale into inhale. Stay in the diaphragm center. Breathe into that diaphragm center. Breathe into your solar plexus. Acknowledge that space, the heat. And all those spiritual emotion link with those meridian associated contentment, reflection, and decision making. And without dwelling on them, but just let those spiritual emotion resonate within your entire body, within your entire being. And acknowledge from those vibration of those words, acknowledge the thought, acknowledge the feeling, acknowledge the emotion coming out, the heaviness or lightness. Be conscious of what's happening within your body, physical body, within your emotional body, within your mental body. Don't dwell, don't make a whole story, just simply being a witness of those things that happens and let them go. Acknowledge and just release. In the inhale, we're creating space. On the exhale, we're grounding into that new space. On the inhale, we're embracing goodness. On the exhale, we're releasing anything that's not serving us anymore. Stay present in the diaphragm. Stay here. Feel. Breathe. Nurture. On the next inhale, we're slowly going to release both legs. We're going to slowly roll over and bring ourselves into a Sphinx pose. We're going to have a supported Sphinx pose and we're going to try to place the bolster here. So your hip bone not moving from the mat, but you're going to place the bolster right, and so it put a little bit of pressure into that diaphragm area here. So you're going to create an opening in the lower back, and you're going to create a little bit of activation through that solar plexus. The shoulders, make sure you still keep the space into your neck, so push the shoulders away from your ears, don't let them drop forward too much. Keep breathing. If it does that, you can always push your elbow a little bit further away forward, so you make sure the shoulders are back. Keep the breath through the solar plexus and really focus on that little flame in that solar plexus. Let it grow. Breathe through the center. Surrender through that center. In that center, often when it's in balance, we want to control everything. It's that habit of wanting to control. It's the ego. The ego is not something we need to just say, oh, it's bad. The ego is our humanity. It's something we've created for yourself. It's a false sense of safety. It's just something we create, and instead of being hard on ourselves and judging ourselves from just acknowledging it, acknowledging all that, and maybe bring a little bit of more true self into it and let that ego just a little bit more in the background, but not trying to suppress it, more balancing it with that true self. Being able to be happy to be a bit vulnerable and being comfortable with some vulnerability somehow. Allow things to be and not wanting to be in control of every single event that happened into your life, but having a little bit of flexibility. Being able to just be, have faith in what you do, be content with who you are and what you do, shining out like a big sun. On the next inhale, slowly we're gonna go in a cat tail on the opposite side. Again, you can place a bolster underneath the shoulders here if it's a bit tough, if you're a bit tight in the lower back. Breathing again through the solar plexus. Stay present, stay focused. The inhale is pouring into the exhale, and the exhale into the inhale. and slowly we're gonna move slowly back. And we're gonna move to our laser pose on the left side. Taking your time to move from one posture to the other. Bringing that left foot to the left side of your mat. And we're gonna start with acupressure, starting in a stomach acupressure in front of the ankle. Exhaling, applying pressure. Inhaling, releasing pressure, doing that 3 times. And then we're moving through this, we're going to move to the spleen meridian and do exactly the same thing. Spleen meridian acupressure is on the inside of the inner step, just at your big toe level. And do the same for 3 breaths. And then finally on the gallbladder meridian, between your little toes and the second toes from the little toe. And place pressure on the metatarsal, just right in between those two. And then when you finish all those pressure points, you can just slowly just relax into you. Let it again, if that back leg is a little bit, you can put a bolster across that back leg or put that bolster underneath your elbow, whatever works. You need to completely surrender through your posture. No force here. It's all about letting gravity make you reach your therapeutic edge. So sometimes to use props is good, so you can really have a full surrendering. Sometimes we think we're completely relaxed, but you're still tied up, and especially being completely relaxed, and gravity will push your body down. So sometimes if it goes too far, your body is gonna want to hold it back. So tighten up. So try to have a little bit higher than usual in a yin class, but being fully relaxed into it. Keeping in mind that you're still working on the solar plexus, so I'd like you to keep pushing on the exhale, just lifting through the solar plexus. Now slowly moving from the posture and bringing ourselves into another posture, the other side of the half Baddha Konasana, half saddle on the other side. Again, you don't need to go lay back. Sometimes you can lay back with higher bolster, so you can put 2 bolsters on the top of each other or pillows. But making sure that you're comfortable. You can place a block underneath your head, so you don't have that opening through the throat if the neck feels a bit funny. Making sure that right knee stay grounded into the mat. Anytime that is lifting, you're putting pressure on the ligaments on the knee joint. Make sure you keep the nice posture, keep the integrity of the posture and the asana. Now completely surrender here, working on the stomach meridian that runs through the top of the thighs on the right side, and working on the spleen meridian on the left side that runs through the inner thigh. And then working on the solar plexus here, completely opening through, feeling that space of the diaphragm, and really try to breathe into that diaphragm, into that solar plexus. Inhale, expanding and creating more space into that solar plexus. And exhale, ground into that new place, new space. Inhale, reach and pick up all the heaviness, all the tightness in that solar plexus. And on the exhale, letting go of all that tightness, all that heaviness. And so trying to have that letting go of control, and just having faith that you're receiving what you need. Any pictures, emotion, feelings, thoughts, acknowledge them, all of them, and then let them go back to your breath. Stay present, stay in your conscious mind. Don't drift away in the subconscious, where all the pattern behavior, all our habits are there. Step out of that subconscious. Stay conscious. Stay present. Stay here. On the next inhale, slowly putting your hand down, pushing hand, elbow, lifting slowly your torso up. Having a moment here. And from here, releasing. We're going to go into a Sukhasana cross leg. This time, if you cross the left leg forward, just change the cross. So bring the other leg crossing forward. And we're going to bring ourselves back into our third chakra mudra, which is the right thumb on the top of the left and then finger together. And then we're going to do a little bit of chanting. 3 chant on the exhale. The mantra for the seed mantra for the solar plexus is RAM, R-A-M. So we're going to exhale and then inhale to prepare. And again, inhale to prepare. And another one. When you finish those 3 mantra, you can slowly lay down into your final Shavasana. The heel apart, arms apart, but lower than your shoulder level. Make sure you have a space in the neck. Don't try to overextend the chin, the neck by lifting the chin. Drop the chin towards your neck. The chin towards your neck. And breathe. Feel. Observe. Be a witness of that third center. Be a witness of that solar plexus. Visualize that beautiful little flame at the center and let that flame slowly expand more and more, reaching your entire body till you become the flame. Breathe, feel, embrace your power, embrace your strength. Shavasana. Taking as long as you need in that final Shavasana, staying there. Try to stay in a conscious mind. Observe. Be a witness of your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies. Acknowledge the space that you have created for yourself. Thank you for your trust. Namaste.